Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. If you're looking for undervalued investment opportunities, click subscribe, join myself and everyone else in the community for this commodity bull market ride higher. I've got a hypothetical portfolio that I created that people wanted me to create on the channel. They wanted to see when I was going to add into positions and basically document and show you a portfolio that I built since January 8th, 2021. So it's a very new portfolio. I've had it for 5 months. I've cost averaged into these positions, and I've also created these positions when I think they are of good opportunity. So you get to see what I would choose as a company, and then also on top of it, when I would buy it. So you get those two things, and you guys can do your own due diligence. Again, this is not financial advice. I do not recommend buying any of this stuff. I am doing this hypothetical portfolio for myself so you can see what I am doing and you can get accustomed to seeing a chart, why I'm adding into this company, and I can explain why I'm doing it. That's the value there. You can add and partake into any company that you wish, but it's at your own financial responsibility. So you have to do your own due diligence, okay? So here's the portfolio. It is behind me. I'm going to shrink myself up and move me around. So in that 5-month period, we have a 52.4% gain. That's a pretty good gain. I'm proud of it. And I think it is an accurate reflection of the value that I can deliver to everyone on this channel. Now, we're going to be riding up. We're going to see pullbacks, ups and downs. This portfolio has been a pretty steady increaser. I have a wide array of many things in it. I've got uranium, oil, diversified mining. I've got royalty companies, precious metals companies. I have a wide array of a bunch of different companies in here. This is a diversified portfolio. I have something on the lines of 65 holdings, I think, in it, and that's probably pretty close to where my other portfolio is at. It's probably around 60, 70 companies. It's somewhere in there. I overweight some of the companies a little bit in companies that I have more conviction in. Some of the other ones that I like, but I think they're a lot higher risk, I may not put as much money into them. So that's my strategy that I use and deploy in my regular portfolio. I manage my risk through portfolio size allocation. I don't put more than a few percent and up to 5% weighting in one company. So that allows you to spread it across, spread your risk out. And I'm not saying that you have to diversify as much as I have in this portfolio, but what I'm trying to do is get everyone, some people might like diversified mining companies, so I put diversified mining companies and tell you guys when I would be buying. Others may want the uranium side. I'll let you know when I buy the uranium side. And that's why this has gotten so big, is because people want to see different things, and I put them in the portfolio of those things that they want to see. So I'm probably a little bit less than 65, but it's in the ballpark. I'm probably around 50 something. So here's what I would add it into right now. I add into the portfolio Uranium Royalty Corp. I don't own anything in it. This is my starter position. It had a very good move from, I would say, this 2021. And I was waiting for a pullback. We've got a pullback. I'll show you what the chart looks like. You can tie this all together. But first, I'm going to go into what I'm adding into. So Uranium Royalty Corp, I'm adding it in today at the stock price 278. It has a pattern that I like, and I can show you that. And this may not be the ultimate bottom. I could be premature here, but I'm adding a little bit to get my feet wet and get it in front of my face in my portfolio, so I'm seeing it every single day. Remember, this is a starter position. I added this in my regular portfolio as well, the one that I own, and I added a little bit in there, just so it's in front of my face and I can see it. Because if we get another pullback, I'm going to be buying more into it. I like the royalty companies quite a bit. So I'm going to go down. I'm going to be adding into COPX, which is an ETF. If you guys like ETFs, I think copper looks like it's about to turn. I'm going to show you a chart of that, and you can see it. So I'm adding to COPX at 39.93. I'm just going to double the position size. I bought it at 39. I'm going to buy it again at 39.93. And then I don't think I'm adding. I was going to go over one last one. I did buy LEU 6-1. I showed that on the other hypothetical, but I pulled up the chart to show you guys what I saw in the chart before that move higher, because this has a 13% gain that I bought 6-1. And I'll show you exactly what I saw, because I think that's a good example of a good move. So let's pull this up here for the presentation that I've got. And I did some circles. I'm gonna move me over here, make me bigger, and you'll lose me. So here is your Uranium Royalty Corp, and this is why I am putting a little bit of money in. So we've got a long-term trend line down here coming through, and it's right real close to this area in here. So we've got some good support underneath this. We've got this long-term trend line. I could probably draw on a little bit cleaner. The long-term trend line right below this. We have another kind of trend line in here where the stock kind of came down and bounced right up. We have a lot of buyers and sellers in this area right underneath. So right under here, we have a lot of buying support. And what I'm going to try to do, and what I've done in my portfolio, is I put an order that hit the bottom here, and I'm like, okay, let's watch this. It was coming back up, and then I bought into that strength because I was like, this is going to put in a hammer pattern. And that's what this candlestick is. It's a hammer pattern. And what a hammer pattern is you've got a small body length at the top, and then you have a large wick at the bottom. So what it did is it opened right here. It went all the way down with a lot of momentum. And throughout the day, that momentum reversed hard off a bottom and came back up. So now the momentum in this day is coming back up. And I think tomorrow we'll probably see a move to the upside. Now, these hammer patterns, they're pretty reliable. I've got other ones circled here of hammer patterns. There's a hammer pattern here, which is off the trend line. So we've got a little hammer here, a hammer here. You can see the big up day next to it. It came up, pulled back. This is a hammer day there. Came up, pulled back. Another reversal day here. Came back up. Bullish engulfing here. Came over. Bullish engulfing. Moved higher. Came down. Bounced. It bounced off this nice support line down here. Bounced up. Came up the next day. Pulled up short term. We had a little pullback here, sell off. Small down days, two big large down days means it's probably going to continue lower. It continued lower, and we got that nice wick on the bottom. So we've got nice support down here. So I think it's a low risk entry point because of this support back here, all the buyers and sellers. We've seen buyers show up here, and we've seen buyers show up again here. I was expecting it, and I added a little bit of money in today in my regular portfolio and also in this hypothetical portfolio. And it's still a good entry point even now. But it's up to you guys. I'm not telling you to do anything. Do your own due diligence, please. Now here's Centrus Energy, and I'll tell you why I bought into Centrus Energy in the hypothetical portfolio, and I also bought it in my regular portfolio right in here. It was 6-1. 6-1 is this day right here, I think. Yeah, that day right there is when I bought it. So what I saw is this chart pattern. There's a massive pattern down here that it broke and launched higher. So we're still pretty close to the launch pad behind us. Centrus Energy, I like the company. They have, you add it to the fuel, I guess, and it becomes more efficient. So we blew on up here, and we're going in this pattern here. We've got a bullish engulfing here. You can see the move higher, hit its head on the ceiling, and we came back down. Tried to break through, came back down. Too many sellers up there. It's just too many up here, guys. Too many. You can see the wick. So another thing that you can see when looking at these patterns is when you look at things, I am looking for large up days and then the small little down days that contract underneath. So we see the power. It's like a hammer that's going to ram into this ceiling. Bam! And then the sellers leak off. Bam! Sellers leak off. You can see this large wick at the top here. We got the wick. The sellers are strong up here. Seller be strong. It's like, and it comes right back down. It's like there's too many dang sellers up there. We're trying to break this. We go again. Bam! Too many sellers. We're coming on down. We're like, all right, let's muster our might and our strength, and let's band together here. So we've got a good up day, 3 small down days with a bullish engulfing ending this. That's like, ooh, that's game on. And if you're on the channel, I'll teach you this stuff. I'll talk you through it. But this right here means it is game on. This candlestick up and the 3 small down days and then the bullish engulfing. Game on. They tried pushing this thing lower, didn't go out of the pattern. This is the last ditch effort by the sellers. And you know what? Good luck, sellers. So I bought into the stock on one of these days. I think it was this day here. The sellers didn't have anything. We're in the pattern. We got a bullish engulfing. This is just a matter of time before the buyers come in and try to rake this over, rake the sellers over the coals. So here we go, over the uranium, I should say. I bought in right here because of this bullish engulfing and this pattern here, and then we blew higher, and we're sitting at the top of this ceiling here. We got a whole bunch of buyers pushing this higher. It's going to take a lot of energy to get this to break through and jump off this ceiling here. We may go sideways a little bit, but I bought in what I thought was a very low risk, high opportunity, high reward area because we're coming to the tip of this pattern. We have a bullish engulfing. We've got the big up day and the 3 small down days in front of it. The sellers didn't have anything, so I bought it on the next day, and I said, this is it. We're about to go. That's why I bought it. Now, the next one I bought was COPX. Actually, I'll go here first. We've got COPX. You draw the trend line in, and we're at the 200-day. We've got this pattern where it kind of pulls back, bounces off the trend line, moves on higher. Pull on back, bounce off the trend line to move higher. Pull on back. We're at the trend line. We've got a nice small contraction day. And a small contraction day means that we've got a opening and closing price that's equal to each other. That's what a contraction means. The momentum has stopped or slowed. And we're right at a double support line. We're at the 200-day and we're at the trend line. I was like, well, we've got a lot of support underneath it. I'm going to add a little bit in. If you look at the price of copper, because this is COPX, an ETF of copper, you want to make sure that you look at the copper price. The copper price has been bouncing kind of right off this 50-day moving average. Oh, this is a 50-day moving average. Sorry, this is a 50-day, not the 200. 50-day moving average, guys. So this is the 50-day that's coming on up. We're getting real close to the 50-day. We pulled on back. We do have some large momentum, but it was just thwarted right here. It was like, boom, and stopped. No more sellers. The sellers contracted. The buyers are starting to equal the sellers. That's why this opening and closing price on this guy is very small. And then we threw a hammer in today. The hammer with the wick on the bottom. So those sellers tried to do something. It's like, nope, this is going higher. Sorry. And we've got this little, you can create a little pattern here if you want. And I think it's going to probably break to the upside with this nice hammer position and the support right underneath it. Lower risk, good opportunity. So I bought some COPX. That's the reasoning behind this. So what I'm using is one, we know that copper's cheap. I shouldn't say it's cheap. There's a huge demand out there for copper. If they want to try to do this renewable future, if they want to try building more homes, if they want to try putting, not just try, they're going to put power into India and these third world countries just to get power to people's homes. I mean, think of how important that is. We think about electric vehicles. These guys are getting power for the first time. Like they're running the grid. They're putting things in. Copper is going to be used in copious amounts going forward. And if we do the renewable electric vehicle thing, copper demand is going to go through the roof. So I'm a very big bull on copper on the long-term perspective. I think it's priced pretty well. And if you have an opportunity to pick some up here, why not do it? So I picked some up. So I picked up some COPX. It's an ETF, kind of get me spread out in the copper area. I want more exposure to copper. So I'm going to use the ETF to do it. So I'm adding a couple of ETFs into the portfolio so I get the wide array. I want to capture that copper gain. I know it's going to go higher and probably substantially higher. I like the uranium. Anything in uranium I think is going to blow up. LEU, Centrus, it's probably a decent pick. And then the Uranium Royalty Corp. I like uranium. It's a royalty company. I don't own any. I'd like to get some exposure. And I think this is a good low risk spot to add a little bit. Is this the total bottom? I don't know. I don't have the crystal ball, but I think it's a good spot to add some in because of all that support. If you guys like this presentation, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate you guys listening. Leave any comments or questions that you have below. And thanks for listening. This is Finding Value.